Okay, let's dig into this. We're looking at some really interesting material today from Coach Ed Padalecki. It's centered on his concept, speed creates momentum. Now, if you're operating at a high level, maybe in business, coaching, or athletics, you know that gap between deciding and doing.
Absolutely. And it's important to clarify right off the bat, when Coach Padalecki talks about speed, he's not really talking about physical velocity like in physics.
Not literal speed, then.
No, he means the speed of initiation, how quickly you jump from having an idea or an insight or even just an intention to taking that very first action.
Okay, so speed of starting. How does that initial quickness translate into better performance? Does it act like a psychological force?
That's a great way to put it. It generates what he specifically calls psychological momentum. That first quick action, it sort of kickstarts this feeling of forward movement.
Like getting the ball rolling downhill.
Exactly. It creates this energy that makes the next step feel, well, easier, more natural. It's a powerful chain reaction.
And Coach P highlights the danger zone, the opposite of this. He says the longer you wait between inspiration that I should do this moment and actually doing it, friction builds up.
Right, and it's a subtle friction. Doubt starts whispering. Your initial motivation, which is often quite fleeting, begins to evaporate. And maybe even more damaging, your confidence, your self-respect can take a small hit every moment you delay. Coach Padalecki calls it psychological drag.
He has a term for that pause too, doesn't he? The space between the trigger and the response.
Yes, the action gap. That's the critical window. It's where good habits get reinforced by quick action or where they die because of hesitation. He calls it the gap that kills performance. It's that feeling of paralysis. You need to make the call, start the project, have the conversation. But you just pause. You wait.
What fills that gap while we're waiting? What happens in that space?
Cognitive interference, that's the term Coach Padalecki uses. It's all the mental noise, the overthinking, the what-ifs, the rationalizations for delaying.
The internal chatter.
Precisely. And he's very clear that chatter, born from just waiting, is incredibly destructive for anyone aiming for elite performance. It just clutters your mind, drains energy.
So if waiting breeds this interference, then the antidote is speed. He calls it a performance multiplier. How does moving quickly actually multiply performance?
Because taking action fast, right on the heels of that impulse, directly builds what psychologists call self-efficacy.
Your belief in your own ability to get things done.
Exactly. Every time you close that gap quickly, you're sending a message to yourself. I follow through, I execute. Do that consistently, and your confidence in your ability just grows. That's the momentum.
That makes a lot of sense. And the opposite must be true, too. Procrastination isn't just delaying a task.
No, it's worse. It subtly chips away at your identity as someone who does things. That delay creates drag, and you start to lose faith in your own follow-through.
You definitely see this with athletes, right? Missing one workout is one thing. Miss two or three, getting back feels so much harder. That's the drag Coach P talks about.
And Coach Ed Padalecki connects this straight to the professional world. Got a great idea for a client. Don't wait. Draft a quick outline now.
Even if it's rough.
Especially if it's rough. Trying to build a new habit. Take the smallest possible step, a micro-action immediately. Facing a tough decision. Move decisively. Clarity often comes from acting, not just thinking.
Okay, so he offers a practical way to apply this. Today's play, he calls it. First step.
Identify a moment of hesitation. Just notice something you've been putting off. Could be tiny. Shrink the action. What's the absolute smallest first step you could take right now, just to start? Forget finishing, just initiate. Take that step immediately. And Coach Padalecki emphasizes, this isn't about rushing or being sloppy, it's about decisive movement, closing that action gap before the mental noise starts.
So it's really about more than just productivity, isn't it? More than just ticking the boxes faster.
Much more. Moving quickly from thought to action. It shapes who you believe you are.
It reinforces your identity.
Yes. Each time you act quickly, you're not just doing a task, you're showing yourself. I am someone who acts. I am someone who follows through. That's the deeper level of momentum. It's proof to yourself.
So the final thought for you listening is this. If acting quickly, like Coach Padalecki suggests, reinforces an identity of action and follow through, what identity are you reinforcing when you consistently choose to wait in that gap? Maybe think about that small thing you hesitated on earlier. Find the tiny first step and take it now. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us. We hope this gives you some food for thought as you continue on your journey.